I thought today might be fun to run through some of my favorite burnt orangey brownie lipsticks for fall, because they are all over the place. I'm wearing one shade obviously, and I've got a monochromatic eye and lip going on. This of course is one of the perfect palettes if you like this sort of orangey brownie muted tone for fall. Okay, without further delay, I'm going to start with one of the OG classics, and it's the L'Oreal Balmain lipstick collaboration where they came out with, I think, was it 12 or 16 lipsticks? This is the shade 469, and it's like a perfect muted pumpkin orange. I think my idea of perfect pumpkin burnt orange lip is an orange that has a little bit of a brown in it or a little bit of a beige in it, and it doesn't look too sharp, it doesn't look too bright, it doesn't look too intense. So actually when you put it on, because there are some earthy muted tones in there, it's actually pretty flattering even if you're not typically one to go for orange lipsticks. If you can see, it's orange but there's still some brown, some beige in there. It's almost like an orange neutral. This sort of tone is actually pretty flattering compared to like a true orange, which can be a bit much, especially if you have like pink undertones. These would actually be slightly easier to pull off. I would also advise, if you have sort of pinker or cooler undertones to your skin, to make sure that you even out your skin tone with foundation so there are no uneven red patches here and there, because it can look a little bit strange when you're wearing orange. Actually, most of the selection I have here are matte, because I just find that these tones look better when they're matte. The second shade is Huda Beauty Icon. This is their matte liquid lip. Most people would describe this as an orange shade, but it actually has sort of burnt orange undertones as well. If you can see, it has slightly more rose and red undertones than the L'Oreal Balmain shade. This is the kind of shade that I would suggest for women who have slightly more pink undertones in their skin. If you want to pull off like an orangey sort of tone, but you don't have a very yellow or neutral toned skin, go for something that has just a little bit of a red or rose in it, not something that's this orange. The third shade is from an indie brand called Rollover Reaction. Now this is a brand that hails out of Indonesia. This series of lip and cheek creams which go on matte, and they are really silky, really moussey, and you can use them on the cheeks, you can use them on the lips, you can use them even on the eyes, but I love them the most on the lips. Most of their line is sort of brown tones, brown based, so they are pretty flattering and quite fun to wear. And the burnt orange shade that I'm going to talk about today is called Prudence. A little bit more, well, it's the most neutral of the lot. The Huda Beauty has a little bit more rose and red in there, and of course the Balmain is very orange. It's like a deep neutral, sort of Kylie Jenner type color, but with a little bit more warmth to it. This formula shears up beautifully, so if you just want like a tint, a matte, blotted stain look, this is really nice. Well, the color that kicked off fall for me this year has to be Shu Uemura's Rouge Unlimited. Now this is a matte shade, the Supreme Matte in Matte Orange 585, OR 585. If you can see, it's a perfect deep burnt orange. I believe this would look really gorgeous even on very dark skins. It would come off more orange, more like a muted orange, but it's got enough of a red kick in there. If you find that orange washes you out, makes you look slightly sick, you may be able to pull the shade off. See, it's got a little bit more vibrancy than most of the other shades. Balmain is pretty vibrant, but it's more of an orange vibrant. This one has a vermilion, you know, the red-orange tinge to it. And on the lips, sometimes I find in certain lights it actually comes off with an almost pinkish tinge. It's also one that's pretty good if you have neutral to slightly cool undertones. I would say if you are very pink, very cool toned, you know, even when you cover up the redness with foundation, your overall skin undertone is very cool, very pink, you probably want to skip most of the orange lipsticks. Okay, the next one is a classic that they'll be re-releasing this year for the holiday season, and it is Too Faced Melted Matte in Gingerbread Man. There's going to be a gingerbread girl, a gingerbread woman, gingerbread something, but I haven't seen that. I think it's a softer color. But this is the classic. I do have to point out, the smell is extremely strong. It smells like one of those sweet candles that you would buy. Go to the store and smell this before you buy it. I would say the smell goes away after about 15-20 minutes, but you do have to put up with it for a while, so just a fair warning. If you look here, it may not look very orange compared to the others, but on the lips you will see mostly orangey browny red tones. I would say this is one of the best in-between shades. You know, it's like a perfect mix of orange, red, brown. I actually think this would look good on many skin tones, but I particularly like it on pale to medium skins. Something about a fairer skin just sort of brings out the red and the warmth in this. Now Sephora has a very popular line of cream lip stains, and the burnt orange shade in the lot is 25. I think there are a couple more, but 25 is the one that I recommend. It is almost a dupe for Too Faced Gingerbread Man. Very, very close. So this is it here. This is Gingerbread Man from Too Faced. This may be just slightly deeper with a little bit more brown in it. If you're not sure you want to invest in something that's this high end, go for Sephora 25. These small little tubes would go a very, very long way for the price. That's number 25 Sephora Cream Lip Stain. Now my dress up burnt orange, okay, the one that I wear to like a special event that I would bring out at night, is MOR01 from Rouge. It's one of their new Matte Supreme Liquid Ink line. This is a non-setting matte liquid lipstick. Non-setting meaning it will still sort of come off a little bit, but it does dry down, so if you're worried about it not lasting the whole day or anything, I wouldn't worry too much. It does last for many, many hours. It just still kisses off on your cup. Now these have a sort of a gel type texture when they go on, so it's incredibly light. If you can see there, it's incredibly light, but also very, very pigmented. So you don't get very visible or thick texture on your lips. And this is probably the reddest of the lot that I'm going to swatch for you today. And I would say almost anyone from very pale to deep skin tones can probably pull this color off. If you're the type that doesn't like matte liquid lipsticks, you don't like the transfer proof kind because it makes your lips feel super dry and parched, or it makes you wrinkly, you have to check out this line. I've gone on and on about the Balmain Creamy Tint Color Balm Intense Chubby Pencils, and this one is shade 23 Brick Rose, and it comes in a 5-pack, and they all have sort of browny warm undertones, which makes them incredibly flattering. I'm going to show you this, and this one's kind of pinkish, but in certain lights it shows up a little bit warm as well. It's not a true mauve. It's got a slight warm undertone to it. And what is nice about this particular formula is when you sheer it out, you get that powdered lip, blurry lip effect. And it's really, really gorgeous. It almost looks like you have just a stain on your lip. Plus, this formula is extremely comfortable to wear. It really feels like a balm. It doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel thick, and it doesn't feel dry. But it looks and performs like a matte lipstick. The last one, well, the last three are set, and I fell in love with these when I saw them in the store. They are by Etude House, and they have this new limited edition collection which is themed around coffee and latte colors. And these three lipsticks are called Coffee to Go. Here are incredibly cute lipstick boxes, and you can see we have three sort of coffee colored tones. The one that I'm wearing today is Beige 119, Dry Orange Bianco. BE 119 is the most orange of the three. I'm gonna swatch these for you. Really cute, nice matte versions of their regular pink case. 117 is Whipping Cream Dolce Latte. And this is the slightly softer one of the three. There are 4 shades, but I skipped the palest one because I just didn't feel it would be flattering on my particular skin tone. And I find a lot of the East Asian brands tend to typically not be real experts when it comes to nude lipsticks. But that's just my own bias, so. I have to point out that this formula is pretty dry. It will last a long time on the lips because I find that when I put it on, after a while, I pat my lips, it almost feels like nothing is coming off. You can kiss off a tiny bit of product, but most of it just clings to your lips. Okay, BE119. This one is Dry Orange Bianco, which I'm wearing today. It comes off as more brown in the tube, but once you apply it, the orange tones show up. So if you can see here, you can immediately see the orange undertones. A lot of Asian matte lipstick formulations are such that you will find they go on slightly sheer and then you build it up because they have that soft blurry effect. Consumers here do not like that very thick, opaque matte finish. So a lot of brands will actually go for a more lightweight, more suede-like velvety finish that has a tiny bit of translucency to it. So you can see, this is BE119, Dry Orange Bianco. Now the last shade is not really a burnt orange tone, but it's still a shade that I kind of like for fall. And since I introduced its 2 sisters, might as well throw this one in. It is Etude House 120, No Sugar Americano. If you can see here, it's more of a brick bed, but not with a lot of brown undertones. If you're very fair, it'll come off as a brick. But if you have a deeper skin tone, this would probably come off as a warm, bright red. If you can see. The last one is an honorary mention because it's not typically the kind of color I would wear, but I do know many people who like metallic lipsticks, so you might want to check this out. It is by a local brand called Cosmic Queens, and this shade is called Glam Queen, and it is a perfect burnt orange coppery metallic liquid lipstick that sets matte. Typically metallic liquid lipsticks need a little bit of building up, but this one's pretty good. You can see, that's just one coat. So it is a very true burnt coppery orange tone. Almost like what I'm wearing, but in a metallic format. I have a small mouth and sometimes metallics can make my lips look really mean and thin, so probably not something I will pull out very often other than to use as eyeliner, but you know, if you have nice, full, smooth lips, check out this color. Now just some general tips for eye looks that go with burnt orange lips. If you have something like the Naked Heat, obviously this would work wonderfully well. Today I mainly used He Devil from the Naked Heat palette. So if you can see, it's almost identical to the lipstick color that I'm wearing. I used a matte beige in the inner part of the eye, so I sort of just did gradient and then blended the red brown up towards the brow just to soften the edges a little bit. You don't have to go with a matchy-matchy sort of look. I would suggest it more if you have sort of neutral to cool skin undertones, and orange lipsticks can sometimes look like they don't quite belong on your face. This is when you do sort of eyes and cheeks that tie in with the lips, and that helps the lip color to sit nicer on your face. If you have nice warm undertones in your skin, and orange, brick and warm red lipsticks tend to look nice on you on a daily basis anyway, you can do whatever you want on your eyes. You just need some help in the eye and cheek department to balance out your whole face if your skin undertone doesn't go with the lip undertone that you're wearing. I hope that makes sense. Hope you guys found it helpful and you found some shades that you might like to explore. Obviously there are tons and tons of burnt orangey, bricky, browny lipsticks around, but these are the ones that I have on hand and have been reaching for more recently. So if you have any recommendations, please leave them down below. I'd like to know, and I will see you in the next video.